Boom, a boom, boom. He's Chef Track on the fast track. He's Chef Track on the fast track. He's shaking and baking and mixing and fixing nutritious meals, nutritious meals. He's Chef Track on the fast track. He's Chef Track on the fast track. His food is so good, good. His food is so good, good. His food is so good, good. Chef Track, Chef Track, Chef Track, Chef Track. His food is so good. Chef Track, Chef Track.
Hey, hey.
Fun, food, family. Fun, food, family. Fun, food, family. Now here's Chef Gill.
Hey, hey, folks. Once again, we're at another Chef Trek Adventure. I'm your host, Chef Delmer Gill. My wonderful, wonderful co-host, Mia Bird and her daughter, Shadima Bird, are once again off on another adventure in some far-off galaxy. But we're doing something called Grillin and Chillin. Let's thank Awesome Brother Ensemble, Charles Awesome Brother Walker on keyboards and percussion, and flautist, can I say flautist?
You may.
Lou Dennis.
Thank you.
Did I hear a whistle? Lo and behold, I did hear a whistle. All right, that's enough of that. Puppeteer Bernard King with an assortment of fun and zany puppets, including Officer Bernard. Officer Bernard, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm pretty good. I'm glad to be on the show today. And me and my friends is here. And I'll say hi to everybody.
Now, who's here today? We already mentioned Chef Lorenzo. Who else is with you today?
Well, me and him was together earlier today. And he seemed so hungry. And that's my friend Butch.
Butch is here.
Yeah.
Hi, Butch.
Hi, how y'all feeling out there?
What's going on today, Butch?
Food.
Thank you. And as Butch has said, what's the Chef Trek Adventure series? It's faith, family, friends, and food. Speaking of food, as I mentioned, we're grilling and chilling today. Now, what that means is we all go to these cookouts, barbecues, what have you. I'm presenting some alternative fruit and vegetable things that you can add. This is not a vegetarian show. It's just no meat on it. Figure it out. We want to thank once again Rockland Bakery of Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Thanks to our national sponsor, Healthcraft Products of Tampa, Florida. We have here some grilled, we're talking about grilling. So here we have some nice grilled romaine lettuce. What we're going to add to this is some tomatoes and some onions. Now, we have a number of things. We did a show, me and I did a Healthcraft Chef Trek show called Beans, Greens, and Grains. So we're bringing back some more grains. We have bulgur wheat, better known as kasha, and we have couscous, which is the Israeli couscous, or better known as pearl couscous. It kind of looks like barley. Bad joke time, we don't have a drummer, but we do have a drummer. Did you say that was Pearl Bailey? No, it was Pearl Barley. Okay. We are abound with bad jokes. My wonderful co-host who goes back and forth with me with bad jokes, me is not here. But sometimes, hey, where'd that guy come from?
I came here to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
And I want to know why I'm the second chef.
Because me is not here?
Oh, that's the reason. I wonder if it was something, because I thought I was number one.
Yeah, now,
Well, you got
as we are getting hot, we're going to do our watermelon. Yes, indeed, we are. And even though we've talked about some things, but guess what? The thing about this show is we're liable to do doggone anything here. We are going to grill a few items. Watermelon will be one. Now what I've done is I've taken off the top. Watermelon's already been cut in half, see? Half a watermelon. Now the two things fruit-wise that are being grilled will be watermelon and pineapple. And we're going to do the same thing. Does this suit me?
It looks good on you. It looks real
Does
good
this
on
suit me? Thank you. Kind of makes me feel like Carmen Miranda,
you. Yeah.
but only on Tuesdays.
You need another chef?
What you say?
I asked him, did he need another chef?
If you can walk out here on your own, yeah, come on.
Oh, that might be a little hard, but I'll try.
Okay, now, back into the pineapple. And I see our grill, she is a smoking. Okay, now, we're gonna give a spray. And we're gonna start with our watermelon. We're gonna cut that watermelon down into about an inch, slice. And we have an assortment of fun herbs, spices, and kind of things over here. We're gonna take a wee bit of dry rosemary. We've already sprayed our grill. And here's what we're going to do. We're gonna take this watermelon and we're gonna place it. Ooh, when you're sizzling, you know you're doing good. While we're doing that, we'll push this to the side. We'll cut our pineapple in a minute, but we're going to do our tomatoes. And we're gonna do the same thing. As we do a little vipe-see. Officer Bernard, you don't have to come out, but don't tell me that these are my new knives, and she fusses at me because I get to flip knives. Boom, boom. And we're gonna place these on our grilly. And there's that sizzle again, folks. There's that sizzle again.
We about to get down.
Get down. We're gonna take a white onion and we're gonna cut that maybe a little thinner than what we cut our tomatoes. But we are gonna cut as we go slice, and slice. Yes. And we're gonna place that down. We're gonna come back to our pineapple. We're gonna cut it in half. We're gonna turn it, we're gonna remove the core very carefully. As we always say, careful with knives, careful with knives, careful with knives. Now, what I've done is, to remove that core, I'm kind of cutting on a V. Core is out, then I meant to make sure I had all this brown off, but I'm getting off as much of it as possible. We won't go completely crazy on this, but we want to get off as much as possible. And then again, we're cutting it into nice little strips. We're going to push this watermelon out the way for a bit. So, talk to me, Officer Bernard. What's been going on?
Not much going on. I've been working and making sure everything's all right in the community I live in.
Very good. Now, my beloved Pastor Alan E. Waller from 89 Tabernacle Baptist Church has been making some great comments about your new boss, Commissioner Ross.
Oh, yes, he's a good commissioner.
Yes, indeed.
And he works hard for the community.
Yes, indeed he does. In today's times, as times do get difficult across the world, we have to remember that these people have a difficult job, and sometimes we are all human, and we may oftentimes go to some extremes that aren't necessary. But keep in mind, the police have a very difficult job. So we have to do better to understand and support as much as possible. And understand also that people are human with their likes, dislikes, prejudice, and all that kind of unfun things. Now, the watermelon, we're gonna take it off, and boy, it looks mighty good. Come on, come on, come on, that's a good watermelon. We're gonna spray a little bit. We're gonna do our pineapple. All right.
Look at that habit.
I'm not tossing any pineapple at you. You can only have pineapple hard skin. Now, we've got a few of our pineapples grilling. Let's get the rest of our watermelon and slice it up. And see, the thing about this is I'm showing some things that can be done. And though we have grilled a few things, and if we get a chance, we'll grill some more things. But guess what? It is what it is. Because actually, look, we can do this and say, hey, the watermelon's grilled. We will have a little bit of grilled pineapple. But this just shows a nice configuration of things that you can do. And guess what? For color, let's just add a few strawberries around the edge here, okay? It's not a problem, they're here. And oftentimes with these shows, we start with one or two structured things we're gonna do, and then we ad-lib. We go off on another tangent. I can say tangent. Can I say tangent? Thank you. Hey, Karen Walker on camera 3, what did I whisper in your ear that everybody heard anyhow? Doesn't that remind you of Cooley High? Thank you. Charles Awesome Brother Walker, that's been such a blessing and serves as our music director. And actually, they're only part of a larger assortment of musicians. But I am a person who has spent early part of his years from high school on as a fencer. So in high school and early college, I fenced hey, I got my fingers right, all 3 weapons, saber, epee, and foil, but I like the epee more than anything. But as I got older, I started experimenting with other types of swords, samurai, and as I call alike. And then I'm in the process, I'm developing an aerobics and dance project with swords. So only Mr. Offbeat Chef himself will find me dancing. You can find me dancing on YouTube with swords, whips, no chains, swords, whips, and Chinese fighting fans. So this is just another aspect, being a swordsman for most of my life. Then I made a discovery from one of the ministers at my church. I found out that the sword is the word of God. And I said, oh, that's why I'm like this, because the sword is the word of God. And it's a good thing. Now, Chef Lorenzo, you say tomato and I say tomato, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna do our onions. Now we got a few more onions to go. Yes, we do, yes, we do, yes, we do. And basically, here is our grilled onions, lettuce, and tomato. We're gonna make a nice vinaigrette to go over this very shortly. And it will be the same vinaigrette that we're gonna use for everything else. How lovely, how lovely, how lovely. All right, let's not knock over the world here, folks. Now, we're gonna briefly, people have said to me, Chef, what you do is like art. And I say yes. Something that's been very helpful for me is a book called The Art of Cooking. Nice little reference book full of wonderful colored pictures. Pictures, pictures.
Is my picture in there?
No, next issue we'll have your picture. Then, from Chef Charles Knight and his son David, from Healthcraft Products, another wonderful item that was sent to us. It's the book Healthy Meat and Potatoes and Waterless Cookware. Chef Knight and his son did this, and Chef Knight and his wife did the other book. But speaking of books, and forgive me if I break down and cry, this is the Encyclopedia of Cooking, which belonged to my beloved grandmother, Laura Jane Brown, who has long since been taken home to God. And my mom, who passed away last year, I said, Mom, can I have Graham's book? She says, yes, you can, it's yours, but only after I'm gone. So this is a book that came out like early 1950s, and it was like the book that my grandmother used for everything. And what a blessing. Now, to speed things up, we have a nice assortment of spring mix and spinach. And what we're gonna do is just toss some kasha over this nicely. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of kasha. And we're gonna quickly blanch some broccoli. We'll let it go for about 2 minutes. Now, on this, grape tomatoes. So what we're gonna do is, once again, full of color, full of flavor, we're gonna do a little handful of carrots, just a little sprinkle. We're gonna do some peppers. It's like my friend Chef Ali Hackett, King of the Oldies, says on his cooking segment of his dance show, don't you just love it? Only here can we do these offbeat things that you won't find on regular TV, but Ali Hackett's show is oldies, dance, entertainment, and cooking. And what he often says, you are the cook, you are the chef. You take a recipe, use the guidelines, information, temperatures, and then you decide what you want to do. So, here we go. Now what I did on this pepper was, I cut out the seed cavity. I didn't really need to throw it on the floor, but it did go on the floor. Shake out our excess seeds, and we're gonna do thin strips, thin strips, thin strips, thin strips, thin strips, thin strips, thin strips. And we're just gonna use this half and call it a quits. We're gonna set this here. We're also going to take our Israeli couscous, and we're gonna just quickly heat up some of that. So we've used both of our grains now. Now let's see if we have any luck here with our other induction boiler. If not, we'll have to go to the one that is working. Or we don't even have to do that. We have boiling water here. So if we don't get an induction burner up, we're gonna take some of our kale. Hey Chef, you know, you've been having a bad attitude lately. I'm gonna say one thing. Bad joke, folks, you've been warned. Go to kale!
I don't have a bad attitude, I have a bad longitude.
Hey, longitudinal.
Longitude.
And we're only gonna take a bit of this kale. Place that gingerly there. Get out of my way, Pepper. We're gonna get rid of this excess stem. And we're just going to cut. You get out of there. To cut. So, In we go. Kale, let's get in there. Kale. And we'll take the garlic. We're going to set that here. We're going to go with our broccoli that we have blanched already. And we're just going to give a little slice. Mix it in here. Mix it in here. Ba-doom, ba-doom. We're going to let that kale go for a bit because we want to go a little bit beyond just being blanched. A nice canola oil, and give or take, about 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup. We're going to add our cantaloupe. This is going to be a good time. This is going to be a good dish. This is going to be a wonderful thing. We're squeezing like the juice from about 1/2 of lemon here. Roundsy bouncy bouncy. We're coming to our little spicy tray. I know that we have a new sponsor coming to the Chef Trek Adventure. Nutrition, Herbs, Nutritions of Health. They're joining us very soon. This is a new curry that I'm trying from them. We're going to add a little pepper. We're going to add a wee bit of salt. Notice I said a wee bit. Bit of parsley, some additional garlic, because we like garlic. We have added our cantaloupe, our oil, some herbs and spices, and we're going to top it off with the apricot balsamic vinegar. Just a bit. It looks wonderful. It looks wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Let's go to our kale. We're going to drain nicely. There we go. Now remember, we just throw a bit of garlic in here with this steam business. Bam! Now, we have a couple of things we can add a little bit more zing here, such as a bit of red pepper flakes, more salt, and we're using a cracked black pepper, and let's throw in just a tiny bit of oregano and dried basil. And guess what? Did I put parsley in anything? Who knows? Well, we are now. And we're going to mixy, mixy, mixy. And how's about we do a drizzle of olive oil? We got a number of oils here. I'm going to go with a bit of the rosemary and a wee bit of blended. And what I like about these products, like their vinegars, they're aged vinegars, which means they're very thick or viscous. Can you say viscous? 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 Yeah, whatever.
Yes, I said biscuit.
No, not biscuits.
Biscuit.
And a bit of blended oil. Not a lot.
I thought you was talking about biscuits.
Yeah, I know you would be thinking I was talking about biscuits. And we're just about come to the end of our wonderful presentation. We're going to take a little handful of carrots for color. Let them heat up a bit. Now, here is our cantaloupe, honeydew, and think, Delmer, cantaloupe, honeydew, duh, and something. Cantaloupe, honeydew, and some herbs and spices, but something else I put in here, but it just escapes my mind at the moment. Yes. There we go. Bam! Here we have our Israeli couscous, carrots, broccoli, kale, a bit of the kasha wheat, and some salt, pepper, and a few assorted spices there. So this is basically done. We're going to pour, and I hope you can see how, how thick this is. But we're just going to drizzle, 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 drizzle. That same dressing that we used, or we can just top this off with some oil and vinegar. Behind me, Bernard King, Officer Bernard, Butch, whatever Butch is, Butch, and my very own Chef Lorenzo. Once again, we've come to the end of another Chef Trek Adventure. My 4 F's, faith, family, friends, and food. Till next we meet, we'll see you sometime soon. We'll be doing more cooking at home. We'll be doing more studio shoots. And we've gone to a number of other chefs' houses. We've gone to a number of churches. So feel free. We are mobile. We can bring what we do to your home, church, or civic organization. Okay, awesome brother, Brother Lou. Let's take him home. Thank you. God bless you all.
Yes.
Chef Trek out.
Boom, a boom, boom. He's Chef Trek on the fast track. He's Chef Trek on the fast track. He's shaking and baking and mixing and fixing nutritious meal, nutritious meal. He's Chef Trek on the fast track. He's Chef Trek on the fast track. His food is so good, good. His food is so good, good. His food is so good, good. Chef Trek, Chef Trek, Chef Trek, Chef Trek. His food is so good. Chef Trek, Chef Trek.
TroopResource.org supports the Chef Trek Adventure series. TroopResource.org, trying to put 1,000 skills into every troop's backpack.